You already have enough tabs. More tabs. New tab. New tab. You're opening another tab? Bye-bye. Ah! Ha! More tabs. New tab. New tab. You're opening another tab? You already have enough tabs. More tabs. New tab.
Time again where I drop trousers and plant a stinky one on Burger King. It is unbelievable how often I make fun of this company. I believe they have some of the worst fast food in the world. Your money would be better spent buying rats to eat than their food. It is just absolutely terrible. But the thing that keeps me shooting spitballs at them is they are addicted to awful, awful decisions. They're like the Ubisoft of fast food. They're just incapable of even accidentally stumbling into a good decision for their business, at least in America. Every time I mention this and go on this rant on stream, there's always someone like clockwork that says, but Charles, that's only in the States. Internationally, Burger King is serving up some high quality cuisine. You know, what's better than serving up smiles? It's like, okay, I guess I can't speak for the quality of Burger King outside of America, but every Burger King in America is a fucking hate crime when it comes to food. It's terrible. It's terrible. And now their most recent announcement is probably their stupidest one yet, which is, that's an accomplishment. That is actually an achievement. I cannot believe Burger King found a way to get stupider, but they did it. That orb of confusion working overtime over there at the Burger King HQ.
Good morning, Patty.
Would you want an AI voice in your headset all day at work, built to assist you?
Looks like the women's restroom needs cleaning.
But also potentially listening in on your interactions with customers.
Thank God, finally! An AI assistant that can jack into the headset of all Burger King employees to act like their fucking mother saying, hey, did you remember to clean the bathroom? Go lick the shitters clean, please. Burger King demands it. And then also monitoring your speech to ensure you are saying please and thank you enough times per day. Excellent. This is what everyone's been begging for. This is probably the most desperate attempt to ham-fist AI into a corporation to try and see any kind of like clawback on money, because I bet Burger King's already lost quite a bit investing in AI and somewhere in their pipeline, so they're like, okay, let's check for please and thank yous, and then anyone who's not, you know, pinky up saying please and thank you to every customer will just fucking fire. And they're trying to frame this as a friendliness coach. My left butt cheek, a friendliness coach, all it's doing is reminding them to do chores and monitoring their speech. It's going to be used as a tool of fear, because if you don't say please and thank you enough, or go, you know, shove your head in the toilet and give yourself a swirly when AI Patty at Burger King tells you to do so, you might lose your job. How is this coaching you in any way, shape, or form? This is outrageous. And also, believe it or not, Burger King's biggest issue isn't the lack of manners and friendliness. You know, it's not because they're devoid of pleases and thank yous. That's not why people avoid Burger King like the plague. It's because they literally serve up the plague on a bun. They serve you sewage. They serve you radioactive sludge. If Burger King wants to improve customer satisfaction, work on your fucking menu, not the pleases and thank yous from your employees.
Well, that's what a new tool at Burger King plans to do, and it's causing quite a stir. The company's chief digital officer telling The Verge the new BK AI, named Patty, was listening for certain words like please and thank you, so managers could see how their staff was performing on friendliness.
The chief digital officer over there at Burger King is a damn clown. Well, this is so fucking stupid. What in tarnation? Imagine everything goes wrong in your life and you unfortunately go to the Burger King drive-thru because every other fast food place is burnt down for some reason. So you're in the Burger King drive-thru and you're communicating with the worker and they just keep saying please over and over and over again. And you pull up to the window and you see sweat pouring down their face. You know, they're fucking panic in their eyes because they've got Patty in their headset threatening their life. If there's not enough pleases in there, they're gonna stop their heart or something, like blow up their brain like it's Suicide Squad. You only said please 15 times during that interaction. I'm sorry, Doug. This is the end of the line. The fucking head pops.
Burger King providing NBC News with this video showing off the new tool.
Is there anything that needs my immediate attention?
The team's friendliness scores this morning were the highest this week.
Yeah! New record for the friendliness score! We did it, Burger King employees! We're super friendly! Thank you, AI assistant Patty, for keeping everyone in line and coaching us on how to say please and thank you enough. We saved Burger King!
The company telling us in a statement that the tool, listening for keywords, was used in limited pilot restaurants.
This is anonymized data, so it is not tied back to an employee.
Let me interrupt you there. No, it's not. You're full of shit. You're full of fucking dog shit, actually. There's no such thing as anonymized data in the current day and age. Everything you interact with, everything you use, and it's certainly every AI spy that they're jacking into your fucking headset is collecting data. No doubt in my mind. I don't even know why you're bothering to try and spin that baloney. Everyone knows that's not true, brother. What the fuck is even the point in trying to hide it? There's no punishments for it or anything anymore. Just say it with your whole chest. Everyone knows. It's despicable, but that's the state of the world right now.
And it's really a coaching tool. It's about ensuring that we raise the hospitality for the overall restaurant.
The company also saying, we believe hospitality is fundamentally human.
Fundamentally human, you say? Why are you using AI to teach it then? Oh, this hospitality thing, fundamentally human. Which is why we brought in Jarvis over here that can blow up your asshole if you don't say please enough to teach you how to be human. That makes a lot of sense there, Chief Digital Clown. Good work.
You could call it the friendly wars in retail.
The customer interaction matters. And for evidence of this, just take a look at the success of Chick-fil-A. A lot of people, when they talk about Chick-fil-A, don't actually talk about their chicken sandwiches. They talk about how the employees greet them.
What world are you living in, Buster? When people talk about Chick-fil-A, they are often talking about the food. Them having to say, my pleasure, like fucking corporate drones, is not necessarily something people love about the experience. I don't know real human beings, like real non-bot people that go to Chick-fil-A and really feel like butterflies in their tummy and get tingly and excited when they say my pleasure when they get served by the Chick-fil-A employee. They are forced to say that. That makes it a non-genuine interaction. That makes it insincere. The reason Chick-fil-A is successful is not because they say my pleasure, it's because the food is very high quality compared to other options, like fucking Burger King, for example. This is ridiculous. And improving the friendliness score of Burger King isn't the secret ingredient here, the chemical X to save the business, man. There's only like one spot worse on the planet for food than Burger King, and that's Long John Silver's. Like, if you go to Long John Silver's and you try and eat the whole menu, you're basically committing suicide. So that is like the lowest food can go, and Burger King is just barely above that. And no amount of friendliness is going to change people's want to be in Burger King. Like, Long John Silver's could offer you a blowjob every time you walk through the doors, and people probably still wouldn't go if they also had to order food to receive it, because it's not worth it. It doesn't matter how friendly they are. Is it a nice thing if the employees are, like, really friendly and customers feel like, they had a joyful experience or whatever? Yeah, that's cool. Like Culver's, I've always mentioned. Culver's is my favorite fast food place. I think their food is extremely good. And I've only had a positive experience there. Like, the first time I ever went to Culver's, the manager or whatever came up and apologized for the long wait for my fucking chicken tendies, even though it only been like 2 minutes. I didn't even realize I was waiting. Like, I had placed the order, and then I sat on my phone for like what felt like 10 seconds. The guy came over, was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry this took so long. Here's a little gift card for some custard and stuff. I'm super sorry for the wait. It's almost ready. I was like, brother, I didn't realize I was waiting. It's no big deal, man. And like, he was super nice, and like every time I've been to Culver's, everyone's been great. But that's not the reason I keep going back. It's because the food is really good. That's just a nice little perk, I suppose. But the food is the reason why I keep going back to Culver's. And that's going to be the same song and dance across the board. And like, the difference is, when it feels organic, it's significantly better when it's forced by Burger King's AI patty that's jacked into their cerebral cortex, forcing them to say please and thank you out of fear for being fired. Like, if you're trying to create a positive atmosphere, it should probably start with the employees, I would say, more so than the customers. If the employees are happy and having fun, the friendliness score might just naturally boost because, well, maybe then it'll be a better environment that they'll want to interact more positively with customers as opposed to being forced under the corporate thumb to do so. It's so dumb. This whole idea of an AI assistant being used to coach employees on how to be friendly. It's outrageous, it's absurd, it's fucking gross. What a completely useless use of AI for the sake of having AI in Burger King. I cannot believe how dumb Burger King is, man. It blows my mind. So anyway, just wanted to insult them, again, for the millionth time, because they keep doing absolute garbage like this. That's about it. See ya.
Giới thiệu sản phẩm chống tia UV từ Uniqlo.
Hola, mi nombre es Carlos y he estado practicando español. Yep, that's about where that stops. I've recently been practicing Spanish again. I previously studied Spanish for like 8 years, 8 años, when I was in school, escuela. And I haven't dusted off that knowledge in well over a decade, and I've recently just had the urge to go back and study it, so that way I can hopefully become fluent in Spanish at some point. Ever since Chinese Charles kind of took over on Billy, I've really liked the idea of being able to speak more than one language again. Chinese Charles really kind of opened my third eye and enlightened me on the fun of being able to speak multiple languages, but I have no knowledge on Chinese, but I do on Spanish, so I figured that was the one that made the most sense for me right now. So, you know, I don't need the Rosetta Stone or anything. I'll just chip away at it, and hopefully we'll see how my Spanish is looking like a year from now. But anyway, that has nothing to do with today's video. I just thought maybe you'd find that cool. Today's video is actually about a wacky woman getting a little bonkers in an Uber.
He's videoing me now.
Yeah, for my safety.
If you feel endangered, I would refer you to call the police.
Now, I don't know who she has on the phone there. Maybe it's fucking Miss Frizzle about to scoot in with the magic school bus. I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you is that if you feel in danger, maybe the first thing you should do is get out of the car. So this whole thing has apparently started because she feels unsafe in this Uber. Yet she refuses to leave the Uber. And now she's making calls in the back seat there like it's fucking Deal or No Deal. Just get out of the car. Why would you not remove yourself from the situation you feel unsafe in? You are just keeping yourself planted there. And this guy wants her to get out of the vehicle. He has now started filming for his own safety, which I think is a very smart call from him, because if she starts to try and spin some fib that he was like, you know, scary, mean, angry, you know, threatening her or something, he now has this very clear evidence that he was just sitting there and doing nothing threatening, and that he was actually the one that felt unsafe around her with her fucking lunacy.
So what do you provide as the safety line?
She says she feels unsafe. I'm sitting here, obviously, have my seatbelt on. Nothing's going on. She's sitting back there. She refuses to get out of my vehicle. So I'm recording for my safety.
Is there any store or is there anything in the area that you're in that you can go in and wait for your next Uber driver?
As you can see, there's the businesses right in front of us. You see the businesses.
Exactly. They're not in the fucking back rooms here. They're not in the middle of nowhere. As he just showed you, there is a business right in front of them. She could easily just get out of the vehicle and wait there for the next Uber if she's unsatisfied with this one and feeling unsafe. Why is she just waiting in the vehicle if she feels so unsafe? This is the classic fucking Watchmen moment of, I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me. I feel terrible for the Uber driver. Dude just has to sit here and just stew in this weirdo atmosphere she is creating over nothing. Now, to me, and this is just my little tinfoil hat game theory here, my little conspiracy I've cooked up, I feel like this is probably a scheme that she pulls from time to time to avoid paying for an Uber. I feel like she's probably doing this to try and get, like, a refund through the service. Like, I felt so unsafe, this is unacceptable, I need a refund. Look at this, like, horrible experience I went through, it was traumatic. I couldn't leave the Uber, I was trapped, I was a prisoner in the Uber, I need my money back. That's what I think it is.
She says she don't feel safe, but she refuses to get out. She can go right to the business over there. There's chairs. She can sit there with her things and wait for her next Uber.
He's gonna drive off with my packages. I mean, this is like, I've never had this before. I'm pretty surprised that you're not able to provide more assistance other than call the police.
So her concern is that when she gets out of the vehicle, he's going to drive off with her packages.
Hết rồi, karaoke thôi. Sao giờ còn sung quá vậy?
Thực phẩm bảo vệ sức khỏe Pharmaton Energy với chiết xuất dư sâm cân.
Why would he do that? Like, I don't even know why that would be a thought that would cross his mind, that he would drive off with your packages. He just wants you the fuck out of there. I would guess that he would do anything to get you out of that car. He looks miserable in there. This lady's like a dementor, sucking all of the joy and fun out of life everywhere she goes, it looks like. And I don't know who she's on the phone with. Like, why are you surprised that they can't do more than just refer you to, like, calling 911 if it's an actual emergency? What is she supposed to do? Get the Navy SEALs over there? I'm so curious who she's talking to on the phone there. Like, maybe she got Zordon on the horn and she's hoping that he'll dispatch the Power Rangers over there to save her packages and let her get out of the back seat. Just get out of the fucking car. Anyone would tell you the same. Like, if you feel unsafe, just get out of the vehicle. And if he's trapping you there, call 911. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I have an expensive package in the trunk. If I get out, what if he drives off with it?
Now she's saying I might drive off with her things when I can clearly just take them out and place them over the side.
Get out of his car and he's on the phone with the authorities. You could get your package and wait for your next Uber.
But how do I get the package?
You get out of the car, bozo. That's how you get your package. Oh my god, what an infuriating person. He is even saying he can just take her packages and put them over there, take Bikini Bottom and move it over there. He is telling you he will do that. Just say, okay, let's do it.
I need him to open the trunk.
Open the trunk.
Okay.
You can ask him to open the trunk.
Well, I'll do that right now. Whatever gets you out of here, I don't care. I'll open it, you get your package, whatever you need to do. I'm going to get her package out of the back because she's scared I'm going to take her package. Her package is out. Her package is right there.
Her to recognize and leave. And thankfully, it was. We got the good ending here. She
Invisalign sử dụng vật liệu cao cấp vượt trội, giúp răng dịch chuyển chuẩn.
Dodecahedron. Very powerful. Geometry so strong, so divine that even me just saying that word probably healed someone's bronchitis out there watching this. And I recently learned about a pioneer in the field of dodecahedrons, metatrons, and pyramids named Scott. And let me tell you something, Scott is very powerful. Sacred geometry bends to his will. He's like a level 99 cleric. He's able to keep the whole party healthy thanks to his healing starship that he commands. You see, he has set up unfathomable technology that science can't even begin to comprehend. It's copper pipe in the shape of dodecahedrons. He also has a Metatron Merkaba, of course, you can't forget that. A pyramid, as well as like a little table underneath this where patients will pay a visit to Scott and also pay hand over fist oodles of cash, presumably, to be there. And what Scott does is heal them. He basically sits you down in his dodecahedron copper contraption and he factory resets your ass. He's setting that shit back to default settings. He could probably even fucking de-age you with this. If you go in there and you're like 80 years old, you'll leave 18. But, as they say, the proof is in the pudding. So let me show you a little bit of butt here. I'm going to show you some of Scott's work and its irrefutable evidence, but also, the most impressive thing here is he's not selfish with it. He's not hogging the secrets of this sacred geometry to himself. In fact, he is enabling anyone out there to buy their own dodecahedron copper contraptions from him, from his website, and you can even own your own Metatron Merkaba for the low price of $150,000. Have you heard of dodecahedron quantum healing? Okay, can't say I've heard of that one either. Dodecahedron quantum healing, huh? Sacred geometry, music, and frequency of the dodecahedron with transmission. Dodecahedron quantum DNA optimization. Meditating in this quartz crystal-infused form, people have seen entities experiencing missing time events and gone out of body often?
Over here we have the dodecahedron, which is the etheric connection. So in meditation, this allows us to go beyond the veil and discover other realms that we've not experienced before. Now, you can really do that in the pyramid as well. This is a whole different deal. This opens up the meridians of the body so that energy flows more progressively to every organ to regenerate. The pyramid is kind of like a stasis that preserves the body. The pyramid, this allows that energy to flow more effectively. A lot of people...
So you just lay on it and it does all that? Wow. Why? How? I guess it's silly of me to question the power of the dodecahedron, to be honest. Is this the next Xbox?
Orbs coming out from the inside of it, and we communicated with them for about 9 months, and I learned all about it.
9 months?
Guys and my son. Each indicated each one of these open faces had a particular color associated with it, but he was only like 8 years old. And I noticed the top.
Yeah, brother, it's called playing pretend.
Was always lime green.
Can I make a dodecahedron quantum DNA optimizer myself? Is it just the shape, the sacred geometry? Or do I need the 30 pounds of copper on each fucking wing? I'd imagine it doesn't matter. I could probably just do it out of PVC, right? This guy's been doing this for a long time. Look up Scott Starship TM Testimonial 3. These are the flight logs of voyages through the quantum starship. He's got a starship?
Like my heart chakra was completely wide open, and that there was a beam of light underneath me that was just blasting through my heart chakra. And then I was just like elevated in this beam of light.
With my lungs, I feel so much more expanded. I recently had pneumonia, and it's helped a lot with that.
The starship did? It's a healing starship?
It's going towards the sun. It was just like pure light. It was like shooting straight towards it.
Jesus Christ.
It was like,
change path. You don't want to be going towards the sun. Why is everyone going towards the sun? Get out of there. That's like the last place you want to go. Oh my god.
Chưa thấy cái cam. Thể có một bài hát nhưng mà người ta không.
Raptor and spaghetti. In quantum state, the dodecahedron interfaces the etheric into our 3D world. Check out the Metatron cube. Metatron cube 3D. Oh, is it Scott's Metatron cube? The Merkaba entrance point.
A lot of people have been asking me, how do you get inside the form? This Metatron's cube. I'll show you. See this pipe? Watch this. Do this. Give a little turn.
And what does the Metatron cube do? Connecting to the divine through sacred geometry. Divine geometrical universe. Okay. Well, that makes sense. He had another channel where he used to sell lemonade. Huh. Does he still sell lemonade? Did a deep dive on this dude. He's been doing this for nearly 30 years. He has so many YouTube channels. Who's to say you don't travel to the sun in the dodecahedron Metatron cube? I've never sat in one. That shit might that shit might wrong warp me like it's Ocarina of Time speedruns. Who's to say? You can order one from his website for only $900. I can order my own Metatron cube. Wow, and for $6,000 I can get my own indoor Merkaba star tetrahedron. Wow. Holy fuck. For $150,000 I can get this.
A lot of people...
This is his Starship Metatron Cube Merkaba. $150,000. Oh my god, I'm losing money not buying this. Wow. For $15 worth of pipe and a table. Holy fuck, he has Suno AI Quantum Healing Music album. Look up Scott Ascend. Nice. Oh, the $900 is for his mobile pyramid. for his mobile pyramid. Thank heavens. I was needing that. For when I need to starship travel on the go. Also called 4 pipes. Yes, but in pyramid shape. And copper. Portable starship. Yeah, exactly. See, that guy gets it. For $2,700, I get the dodecahedron printed crystal connectors. All of these seem great. Have you not looked at the studies page on his site? Oh, does he have studies? Experience what 3.3 million people are discovering. 3.3 million! The Starship trademark has been on the move in 2025. You can become one of the first in the world to study the effects of the dodecahedron, star, tetrahedron, and platonic solids on life. Below are a few on pyramids. 100% undeniable fact that there are powerful energetic influences at play here. Let's learn together and explore new ways to quantify results. Oh, I actually didn't say quantify. Quantify results. Okay, so no research on his $150,000 offers, or the $8,000 offer, or the $2,700 offer. But for the $900 mobile pyramid, we have the influence of pyramid structure on cells. The Earth is made of cubes. Go to the consultation page. You can buy a session with Scott for $100 per hour. Well, what's the session going to consist of if I don't buy his mobile pyramid or his tetrahedron? What's he going to do? Just play AI Suno music at me? What does that look like? I'm curious. Let me see. AI speculates on Starship. Cool. Booking. An energy/health consultation or the Starship session for 2 hours, $330. What does it consist of, though? This is just a picture of you, Scott. Okay. Scott will guide you through relevant considerations for improving your health to include radiation exposure reduction, working with the energy forms using light therapy, magnetic therapies, oxygen therapy, PEMF therapy, essential oils, genetic signaling, exercise, longevity, and anti-aging considerations, massage, etc. He's gonna massage me. Oh wow, wait, what? Scott was diagnosed with leukemia in late 2006, cured it in 3 months after discovering his cure protocol early in 2007. There's no way he's trying to say that, like, the dodecahedrons and tetrahedrons that he sits inside cured his leukemia, right? That would be another level of scam. It went from silly to downright exploitative. Does anyone actually believe these work? I have no doubt. I mean, on his channel, he has a ton of people that filter in there, and now looking at the prices on his website, they're paying hundreds of dollars just to sit in his fucking copper pyramid. Everything. It's coming. Literally everything. Even in the most useless circumstances, AI is being ham-fisted into it. Soon, your silverware is going to be AI integrated, where it'll be telling you, you know, Charles, it seems like you're looking for an awfully big portion of this spaghetti here. Are you looking to put on pounds? Like shaming you or something if you're eating too much food. Like everything is getting AI. Millions of dollars going into the most useless implementations of AI imaginable because it's just this gold rush that has broken the brains of every tech company on the planet. Last night I learned about, of course, the Razer Goon Tube. Then there's the Sony AI patent that will play the games for you if you blow major ass at gaming. Too quick to judge. You
Look, now we're really...
AI girlfriend gonna point out every missed CS. Have you tried killing the cannon minion? It'll give you an advantage in lane. PC's gonna cost 10k because of the AI goon jar. True. It is like a little fucking goon. Dodecahedron. Review bomb battles aren't rare, but they are embarrassing. And right now there is a bloody showdown going on between Breaking Bad fans and Game of Thrones fans.
The most recent episode, In the Name of the Mother, was originally sitting at a 10 out of 10, which is quite common when a really good episode of a show releases because fans will flood the ratings with 10 out of 10s before it eventually settles a little bit lower when the less hardcore fans give it a rating. But there wasn't really a chance for this to happen. Soon after release, the episode started getting review bombed, as you can see by this perfectly natural voting distribution. I guess the show is either a 1 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10.
This shit is always so cringe. I've said it a million times, I think Breaking Bad is a perfect television series, and this episode in particular, I think 1000% deserves a 10 out of 10. Till the cows come home. If the universe lasts another 10 billion years before the heat death, I hope at that moment Ozymandias will still have a 10 out of 10 rating, because that's what it's earned. I think it is an incredible masterpiece. But that doesn't mean that nothing else can ever be a 10 out of 10. There can only be one. Shit, even the Sith in the fucking Star Wars universe had the rule of 2 at the very least. It's ridiculous how there's like this gatekeeping of 10 out of 10 from the Breaking Bad fans, so anytime something even starts to like encroach on that sacred ground, on the Ozymandias sacred ground, they start review bombing it without ever having seen it at all, just to fuck it. It's so embarrassing. Like, there's a group of people in every fandom that for some reason take it so seriously that they put the achievements and the accolades of the property they're a fan of on their own soul. So in this case, there are people whose entire identity and personality revolves around being a defender of Breaking Bad and ensuring that this 10 out of 10 remain unsullied by anything else coming close, and they'll fight tooth and nail for it. It's just so embarrassing because, like, they feel personally attacked because another show has an extremely good episode, like in this case, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms with In the Name of the Mother. I am a huge fan of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I already made a video recently glazing it, which thankfully has not aged poorly or anything because this show is only getting better. The finale airs tonight. I'm extremely pumped for it. And I think that this was an incredible episode of the television show. Do I think it would have stayed a 10 out of 10 without the review bombing? No, I don't think so, because it's not a 10 out of 10 episode. Very few things are. It probably would have settled in like the 9-7-ish range if I had to spitball, but the fact that it got review bombed in there and just fucking dragged to hell for the crime of just being an extremely good episode of a television series is so fucking silly.
Well, due to having a 10 out of 10, and the only other episode of a show with a 10 out of 10 being Ozymandias from Breaking Bad, when the review bombing started, people were quick to blame Breaking Bad fans. And I'm sure a lot of the review bombers were, but also some people just like causing chaos. Well, anyway, the news that Breaking Bad fans were review bombing the show went viral, and in turn, Game of Thrones fans decided to retaliate, review bombing Ozymandias, which held a rating of 10 out of 10 for basically 13 years. But after the recent review bombing, is now sitting at a 9.7 with a massive 71,000 one-star reviews.
That is a very good point. There's no 100% confirmed evidence to suggest every single one-star review bomb that came out of nowhere was from Breaking Bad fans or anything. There definitely are people that just want to poo-poo on anyone's fun and do what they can to shove a little misery wherever they are able to. So it's definitely possible it's just people that did it for the sake of, you know, fuck you guys and that's it. But there were some very vocal Breaking Bad fans going through the marching orders of review bombing this and getting a lot of people on their side to do it, at least from what I saw. And what is clear is after that story went viral, as Dolan Darkus said, then Game of Thrones fans responded by review bombing Ozymandias, and now it is no longer at the 10 out of 10, which is just, that's an affront to God. Because I do think it is a 10 out of 10 episode. There's a reason why it's held a 10 out of 10 for 13 years. And now, it's gone. Fizzled. Over what? Why? Why spill this blood? Why can't multiple shows be extremely good? Why can't there be 10 out of 10 episodes in more shows? I would rather that world as opposed to just one 10 out of 10 ever made. Like, I don't see why Breaking Bad fans get upset if there's another show that gets, you know, teetering on a 10 out of 10 or extremely close, whatever, that they feel they need to start review bombing to keep it in line so that way there's only ever one. I would much rather a world where many shows are having 10 out of 10 masterpiece performances, because that's much more entertaining than just getting served dog shit.
Similar things have also happened in the past with Attack on Titan fans and Breaking Bad fans review bombing each other. You can tell it's bad because the next episode of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which actually hasn't even released yet, has also been review bombed. The entire thing is basically just next level unemployed activities.
True. Dolan's right. So yeah, even the episode that's airing in a couple of hours from now is already been review bombed here because of this pointless loser fight.
Here's some of the more pathetic reviews from either side. We've got this Breaking Bad fan giving it a 1 out of 10 and saying, Game of Thrones can never be a percent of Breaking Bad. Bunch of cornball fighting over this medieval slop, just stories of kings and kingdoms. I have seen better in that genre too, but this is too overrated, and review bombings won't even change the fact that Breaking Bad has been 10 out of 10 for more than a decade. And Game of Thrones, even in hundreds of years with hundreds of sloppy spin-offs, can never do it for once.
Jesus Christ, Junior, from the sound of your message here, it doesn't even sound like you were alive when Breaking Bad was airing. Holy fuck, did he write that review on construction paper with a box of crayons? My God. I think that is the perfect epitome for these review bombing soldiers here, the the champions on the front lines of these review bomb battles between fandoms. That right there is the perfect summation of their mentality. Actual baby brain.
And we've got this one from a Game of Thrones fan. The last thing you're ever going to see is a Game of Thrones fan smiling down at you as you loose your rating. When people ask what happened here, tell them the North remembers. Tell them winter came for Breaking Bad. Not every story is about a chemistry teacher with ego issues. Some episodes are about character depth, atmosphere, tension before the storm, subtle storytelling.
Holy Redditor, I can actually hear the grease and fedora slipping off of his cranium as he typed that one up. To be fair, you have to have a high IQ to understand review bombing, am I right? Oh my goodness gracious.
It's just embarrassing, man. I mean, I guess Breaking Bad fans were the ones who started it. The best outcome I can think of is that IMDb just wipes all the fake ratings from both shows over the last few days, and the people involved go out and apply for a job or something. You're allowed to like both shows, guys. It's not a competition. Thanks for slopping by.
I don't know if that's something IMDb often does with getting rid of baloney, bogus reviews that are very clearly like this, a review bombing back and forth buttfuck fest. I don't know if they do that, but if they don't, probably should. I think it is such a crime that because of all of this hoopla, Ozymandias is no longer a 10 out of 10. And as Dolan said, it does seem like Breaking Bad fans were the ones that started this just completely unnecessary nonsense review bombing war, all because A Night of the Seven Kingdoms had a banger episode that was doing really well on IMDb. And now look where we are. All this bloodshed for what? Nothing to show for it. War. War never changes. Yeah, review bombs are cringe. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya.
Nhìn từ phim thâu đêm, có xe cồn nước sông Hoa Cúc, chẳng ngại phim khuya.
Review bomb battles aren't rare, but found a pretty cool alpha male just now. I want to share some of his wisdom with you, in case you happen to be some kind of weak simpleton out there that doesn't quite understand what it means to actually be a real man.
Weak men run to the bathroom every 15-20 minutes. They get a little nervous, they gotta go take a crap, they gotta go take a piss. And when you walk into a public restroom and you see a guy taking a crap, you know, that's embarrassing. I gotta tell you, this is the most vulnerable position a man is ever gonna be in. Taking a crap, anyone can open the door, stab you in the neck with a knife. Think about that for a moment next time you go out there and start taking craps in public.
There's a lot to digest here, but first and foremost, men don't crap. Men shit. I don't know why he's afraid of using big boy words and instead has decided to use elementary school nomenclature to describe a fucking bowel movement from a man as a crap. That's pathetic. I haven't taken a crap since I was 12 years old. I shit. That's what I do. Maybe this guy's out there making little fucking toots and poots from his butt there, and that's what he calls crap, but that's not what an actual man does. Also, who the fuck is going to the bathroom every 15 minutes? That's not a sign of being nervous and having shaky knees. That's a sign of a serious medical condition that needs to be analyzed quickly. Every 15 minutes excusing yourself to the toilet? What? Who does he hang around with? Dogs that are just afraid around strangers or something? Like, what is going on? Every 15 minutes excusing yourself to the restroom? What the fuck? Also, how would you ever be that nervous? Like, where would you even be that would be causing nerves to that degree that you're going to the bathroom every 15 minutes? Does he think, like, his spiritual pressure is so extreme that it's making men that nervous to even just be in his proximity, so they have to keep going to the bathroom to decompress and, you know, just fucking void their bowels and empty their bladders or something? And finally, what a wacky mentality and outlook on living, where his concern is that by putting yourself in a vulnerable position in a public bathroom by taking a crap, as this Boy Scout calls it here, that there's the concern that someone would bust in and stab you in the neck with a knife. Buddy, I got some bad news. I hope you're sitting down for this one. The cold water's coming. If someone is looking to attack you with a knife in the bathroom, when it doesn't matter if you're shitting or pissing in a urinal, you're in danger. Even if you were standing up and tinkling like a big man and some lunatic comes in there with a knife to stab you in the neck, you're still not really in the best position for this crazy surprise attack from this menace on the loose. It doesn't really change the scenario all that much if you are urinating or hitting that number 2 over there. If there is someone that just randomly comes in there with a knife to stab you in the neck. It must be miserable going through life with perpetual fear like that. Like, if at that point, just never go to the bathroom in general, so that way you're never in a vulnerable position. That would have been more alpha advice, by the way, if he's like, yeah, I had my asshole surgically removed, so that way I'm never caught with my pants down on the porcelain throne. Now I just use this colostomy bag. Like, that would have been far harder. Like, yep, butthole is a sign of weakness. It's a vulnerability in the masculine frame that can be exploited by bad actors, and also when you have to take a crap in public, well then all of a sudden you've exposed yourself to potential knife attacks, which is why I had mine sewn shut.
You have to consult with your wife about simple things in life. There's a big problem. If you have to consult your wife about certain business decisions, about certain things that you're going to do to better yourself, there's also a problem there. Your wife should be supporting you to become the best version of yourself, to be the best leader possible. And if she does not back that, there is a freaking problem. And that's on you.
Brother, this ain't Weenie Hut Jr. Why are you saying freaking? This guy's supposed to be an alpha male, yet he's afraid of harsh language. Like, he won't say fucking, and he won't say shit. Goodness gracious, grow up. If you're supposed to be like this big, rough, tough guy telling it like it is, you can't be saying things like freaking. Anyway, dude's a big wife guy. He has a lot of segments on wives and how to handle the old ball and chain and, you know, what a quality wife is, that kind of thing. And in this section here, his stance is that any man who consults his wife for basically anything is weak, and it's indicative of a problem here. If you talk to your wife for anything other than sycophantic approval, you're a bitch, is fundamentally the vibe here that I pick up from him. Which is an interesting take, because what's even the point in having a wife if it's not someone you want to talk to about important things? Obviously, it's great if your significant other is supportive of the things that you do and want to pursue, but they also shouldn't just be like NPCs that only say yes and good job and encourage things that maybe aren't the best paths, right? So like if you go to your wife and you start talking about this new career you found about pretending to be an alpha male online, parading it around like you're the absolute ultimate of men, maybe she should opine saying, that's kind of cringe, maybe not the best idea. There's nothing wrong with that, and she's not a bad wife for not just sucking your dick on the whole thing. And there's nothing wrong with talking to your wife about things either. It's not weak to talk to your life partner.
When I shake a hand, the first thing that I look at, and this is the truth, okay, if that fucker is wearing shorts and some fucking flip-flops, it's a preconceived idea that gets imprinted in my mind. He's gonna have a limp fucking handshake. I'm 100 out of 100 with that.
Lord help us if this guy ever went to the beach, he'd blow a gasket. Everyone in flip-flops out there. Or if he ever came to Florida, I suppose. But one thing I always appreciate about alpha male gurus is they have to talk about literally every single aspect of just being alive, to the point where even taking a shit is beta and weak and there's a man way of shitting. Like, it can't just be obvious stuff about, you know, working out, that kind of thing. It has to be like, yeah, this is going to be a limp handshake for sure. I'm always paying attention to the dress, the wardrobe of every man I look at. And if they're wearing something that looks a little wacky, I know it's a limp handshake coming my way, and that makes me sick to my fucking stomach. Also, what I will say though, is that he's changed his tone here, and now he's no longer saying freaking. This time, he went hog wild here. He was dropping F-bombs. But don't tell his wife.
A warrior is the eye of the storm. He's the eye of the hurricane, right? Where everything around him could be spinning around, but he is standing still as a rock. He is grounded. His foundation unshakable. When you get to that level, things around you, let them move. But you stay strong, you stay firm, you stay focused.
It's always this kind of shit that I think is so meaningless. If you want to be a gladiator, you need to be a goddamn warrior. You need to remember, when it's all spinning, that's when you stand there unshitting and you are the rock. Like, come on, man. It's like it's made for actual 12-year-olds. What real men who actually are looking for advice could benefit from is actionable things. This is useless. This is just a bunch of empty platitudes. Who needs to hear like these words of affirmation daily? You are the warrior. It doesn't matter what's going on right now. You are the warrior. It's just, it's sad. And they all do the same shit. It's all from the same fucking script. And it's usually to hawk some bogus course for a bunch of money that you don't need, that won't help you in the first place.
I think that you are a loser if your wife has to work to bring in money into your household so you can both survive. That is not the way of the warrior. That is not the way of a manly man. A masculine man provides and protects. His wife, if he's okay with it, sure, she can go out there and work and have a career.
Spoken like a man who's completely detached from reality and oblivious to the cost of living for normal, average, everyday Americans. Calling them a loser, you're not a warrior if you can't provide for your wife off just your job alone. Brother, even if you are a successful man with a successful career, by all definitions, a successful career, the price of buying your first house is still unattainable for the vast majority of careers off just a single income. The market is completely fucked. So, in most cases where someone's looking to settle down and start a family, both the husband and wife are working in order to even have a chance at affording that dream of buying a house. You're not a loser if you can't immediately buy your wife a house for you and her to live in and raise a family in off just your income alone. That rarely happens these days, and it's only been getting more and more uncommon as things get more and more fucked with the pricing.
The woman that you have in your arms says a lot about you. So if that woman is a smoke show, if that woman is a great-hearted woman, is a strong woman, is a woman who can carry herself with dignity, with decorum, with respect, and is a good mother and a good wife. Congrats to you.
This one I thought was actually just kind of sweet. He's like, look, if you have a good wife, good heart, respect, and congrats to you. Like, okay, hey, nice. But also, who is this for? You know damn well the people watching this kind of content and desperately clinging to it don't have a wife. You're their wife. You're their substitute wife. So who are you congratulating? It's just kind of like a nothing burger statement, but it is kind of just a sweet message like, hey, you know, the woman that you're with, it's an important thing. You know, if she looks great, she's good-hearted, she's respectful and all of this, that's awesome. Yeehaw. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, I'll stop yapping about it. I think all of you have learned a valuable lesson about taking a shit in general. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. I just found the toughest guy on TikTok, the CEO of the Salty Spittoon. He told an inspirational story that I happened to stumble across. And I'm not gonna lie to you, sports fans, it's something I really needed to hear.
That was going on, my dad knew when I was 13. He picked up a stick, a wooden stick, and he went and hit me over the head. And I did this, and it broke. And then I took it out of his hand, threw it on the floor, kicked him in the leg, picked him up, and threw him on the coffee table. The coffee table broke in half.
Yeah, that definitely happened. And everybody clapped. This kid Rex Kwon his father through a coffee table like it was Mankind McFoley through a WWE table. Now, I read his comments and there were naysayers in there thinking that he was just spouting off a load of baloney. Bunch of bullshit. Well, poo-poo on you for thinking that he would be lying about a situation like this. You don't know who you're speaking to. This isn't some ordinary mortal, some weak coward. This is a superhuman. And here he is graciously taking time out of his busy day sucking piss from his own balls in order to tell us the origin story of his powers. Kind of like when Mark from Invincible awakened his powers, so too did he. And he is going to use this as a way of not just flexing on us, but trying to lift us up.
That's the beauty, that we are actually superhuman. We just don't unlock the genes. We don't put body in our mind with pressure. There's something called microfractions. Little microfractions that you pause when hitting the
See, it's that simple. Microfractions. Well, you didn't learn about that in algebra? I'll drop the sarcasm for a moment. Fucking Goober here is confusing microfractures for microfractions. Also, I'm convinced he's not actually speaking to anyone on this podcast. I think he just set up this podcast look kind of see what he's got going forward. You think he actually does on something? But that's just a little typical But anyway, I just love that he comes in here preaching, we're all superheroes. Even when it like that's the eureka moment, like that's the pinnacle X. It turns out this is the secret that, you know, Big Brother doesn't want you to know we're actually all almost insulting to your intelligence if I explain microfractures here, because I imagine most of you know what that is, but I'll go ahead and dive into it quickly, just in case you happen to get into the front of this video, in between 2 and 5,000 samurai passes or whatever, cool with that. What he's trying to talk about is microfractures, which you've probably heard of in relation to like Muay Thai, and it's like repeated impact to the bone causes slight little fractures to it, so when it repairs itself in low temperature, it gets serious. Now, obviously, it's not going to turn you into a goddamn superman. You can go outside and pick oak trees to the house, come home, pick an infinite oak tree, because you'll never be able to have decent bones to be like a bullet tree. Like, it's not going to turn you into a superhuman, and I don't know why he's talking about it like it somehow does.
Sit there and hit my shins with a hammer all fucking day. Do you know why people wear boxing gloves? So they don't fuck up their hands by hitting somebody's head. Your head is the strongest bone in the body. And if you train it and bang it enough for a whole year, it becomes 4 times thicker.
He's just straight up wrong. The head is not the strongest bone in the human body. That title usually goes to the femur. But he does say something I do believe him on about banging his head. That, I think he's probably telling the truth on. Like, yeah, maybe he was hitting his knees or his shins with a hammer, and he probably started hitting his head with the fucking hammer, too, from the sound of things here, because he is way off his rocker here. He is off his board.
That's what I learned from the show. Go watch it when you turn your head. Wherever you're hitting, you just turn your head.
He doesn't say a single thing in here that's accurate at all, not even by accident. So I know exactly what happened here. He saw one video, the old viral video that Shaolin Monk who was taunting his opponent in the fight, where he put his head down and just taking every blow right on the chin. Like he was just eating every fucking blow like it was cereal. So that's the video he saw, and he thought that must have been true for all Shaolin monks. That's the only explanation I can think of. Like, I'm giving him a lot of charitability here with my interpretation of the statement. I think also equally likely is he's just straight up lying, just actually talking out of his fucking butt. But I think there's a chance he saw that video of the Shaolin monk in the boxing ring where he was getting hit in the head to lock because he was literally taunting the guy. He was like, oh, that's how Shaolin monks fight. Must be those microfractions I've heard so much about. They must have trained with that. So now he's spouting it off here on the podcast. But I don't know why he thinks that. He could have just looked it up for like 2 seconds. Like, Shaolin monks don't just fight with their head for blocking. You know, like, they're not giraffes. Like, they don't just fight with their head. Like, what? It's outrageous that he would think that. Also, I can't help but have like an immense appreciation for the lesson he's trying to teach here to like the absolute idiots in his audience. That you should hit your head a lot over the course of a year to make your skull thicker. He's actually trying to preach the gospel that in order to be a superhuman, you need to be like banging your head against the wall like the horror movie, like the end of Hereditary or something. That is incredible as a lesson that he's trying to get up there. Because that's actually the takeaway. He is literally talking like, if you want to unlock a superhuman execution, you're going to have to start hitting your shin with a hammer and damaging your skull so that way it'll get thicker and stronger or it's get rid of Shaolin monks and microfractions. That's an incredible lesson for me, right? That's what is amazing.
When I punch somebody, I don't punch their head. I'm imagining my fist going through their head, through the back of their head. The head gets stuck here on my elbow. That's how Bruce Lee used to do it. And who was like that? He comes in and punches. Why do you see everybody's head flying? Because he tried to put his fist through the guy's head. That's why every single punch you see people fly. Look today, all the knockouts that are in the UFC. But he kicks him, he does a slap kick. Chin, boom, boom, boom. Guy goes down this way. Mike Tyson, Bruce Lee.
Can't argue with that. When this man throws a punch, he's turning your skull into body armor for himself, locking it in like an elbow pad. That is, of course, assuming you haven't trained your skull with sledgehammers for the better part of a decade, because then even he would be powerless against a skull that thick. You'd be looking like Sheen out of that episode of Jimmy Neutron when he gets really smart and has that huge brain. But yeah, I just think it's really fun listening to this guy talk about how badass he is. It's so cool. I punched through their skull and then their head's locked on my elbow. I end up looking like I'm out of Mad Max. I adorn my body with decorations of viscera and body parts. It's so fucking good.
Belgian horses are the biggest and the strongest horses in the world. Each one could pull 12,000 pounds. If the two of them are put together, how much weight could they pull?
Together, they're pulling 24,000 right there.
By math, if you do it right, they're pulling 24,000. When you put two alpha males, Belgian horses, together, they could pull 36,000 pounds.
Math can never calculate the potential of an alpha. Also, the AI art he uses for all of his videos is fucking mind-boggling. Yikes. Horrifying. But you're gonna find this hard to believe. He's wrong again. So, this is actually something a lot of other influencer alpha males mention about the Belgian horses as an example of how strong brotherhood can be. They're able to punch way above their weight class, beyond what you would expect given, you know, the numbers here. And it all stems from something called entree leadership from someone named Dave Ramsey, who gave this Belgian horse example when it comes to synergy. So, Belgian horses can pull up to 8,000 pounds individually, not 12,000 like Goofball mentions. And Dave Ramsey saying when you put two together, they are able to actually pull under like optimal conditions, trained together. They can get up to like 30 or even 32,000 pounds that they can pull together through synergy. Well, our guy didn't quite understand that. He couldn't get the numbers correct, and he was trying to spout out an idea that's not his to begin with. I don't think he read Dave Ramsey's book. I'm starting to wonder if he's literate in the first place. Instead, I'm sure he saw some of the other influencer alpha males that have butchered that book excerpt. and he just tried to call upon that and got it wrong.
Because one pushes the other. If you guys work together as a team, like two Belgian horses, you'll be able to pull a lot more than you're pulling on your own.
Yeah, I like that.
It's amazing that when you see brothers really work as a team and understand that nothing can break you, which means if I separated you and I took you in a room, no matter how hard I would beat you, you don't give up your people.
Yeah.
You don't break. Don't ever let a woman separate between you guys. Every single ex-girlfriend of my brother separated us, didn't want me around. When I was around, he was being more of himself. Brotherhood is the most important.
Every single one of your brother's ex-girlfriends didn't want you around? And you think that's a problem with them, not you? Like these women that knew nothing about you at all, like they didn't have it out for you, all of them for some reason just didn't want you around, and you don't think that's because you're a fucking weirdo? Or maybe I'm just talking crazy. That's clearly not the lesson to be learned from that experience there. Obviously not. It all ties back to Belgian horses, actually. Anyway, though, I really enjoyed going down a little bit of a rabbit hole on some tough guy TikTok content, so I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. So, yeah. Have you heard about this hustle cult? Whoa, wait. He claims he can bend and compress time to turn 1 day into 3. His name is Ed Millet?
So I measure time. I've compressed and condensed time. I've bent it. My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. And then the next day is 6 p.m. to midnight. What I've done now is I have changed and manipulated time. I now get 21 days a week. Stack it up over a month, I'm gonna kick your butt. Stack it up over a year, you're toast. Stack it up over 5 years, my entire life is different than it would have been otherwise. So,
fuck, he's good. He's got the power of the time stone. What hope do we have to challenge this man? He's gonna kick our butt. No! Ed, please! What do the comments say? I have to know. Okay, good. I thought the comments might be like believing this shit. This is actually true. He's only 14 years old, and look at him. Yeah, did he say 300 years?
I measure time.
I don't know, it's a good question.
Time, I bent it.
There's so much other
6 a.m.
insanity.
to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago.
You're right, that completely slipped under my radar the first time because it was sandwiched in between other lunacy. He thinks we were cavemen 300 years ago? Wow. He's gonna be beside himself when that realization sets in. In his years, that's a lot. Oh, that's true. Because he operates in, like, dog years. You're right, I didn't think about that. Dude must think medieval civilization was prehistoric. He probably thinks medieval civilization was, like, 40 years ago. Bro is the American Doctor Who. Pretty much. What else does he talk about? If you're still operating like a day is 24 hours long, you're cheating yourself. Man, he is really fixated on that. He really likes that.
You do not believe in a 24-hour day.
You know, it's the dumbest thing in the world. Can we still measure time like we did 100 years ago? If I wrote you a letter 100 years ago, I'd have to write this thing out on some ink, strap it on the back of a horse's butt. 30 days later, you might get it.
Are you fucking stupid? Brother, 100 years ago was 1925. What is up with his perception of time? Holy shit. What? No, we were cavemen back then. True. We were all horse and buggy. We had to use quill and fucking turpentine, scarabs, and all kinds of stuff. Fucking pyramids were under construction back then. Yeah, it was different. It was real different. Sheepskin for parchment.
Write one back. Maybe I get one later. Now I can text you in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Both of those are 24-hour days? That's insane. My days are 6 hours. And some days I just screw off. Some days are Netflix and chill. You do nothing.
Okay, so 6 hours.
6 hours from 6 a.m. to noon. That's a day. And in that day, you get the most love, fun, business, money, whatever you want.
Who is clapping? How could anyone hear this for even a second and be like, yes. Yes, he's speaking it. This is what I've been trying to say. Just because the guy takes a nap at noon? What the fuck, man? That's crazy. That's crazy. So because this guy goes to take a little snooze at noon, like a little baby, a little toddler, and then starts his day when he opens his crusty little eyes and thinks it's a new day, all of a sudden that deserves some uproarious applause from whatever lobotomites are around thinking that somehow that makes sense? He's not even making a good point. It's not like his day is somehow more productive just because he tells himself that a new day has begun after his nap. Like, he's not even expressing anything helpful. This is more like one of the more psychotic ones I've seen.
Third day, second day, noon to 6 p.m. Same thing, that's another day. It's 6 p.m. to midnight. I'm sleeping in some of those days too. I get 21 days a week. You stack that up over a year.
He's saying the same thing.
Stack that up over a decade, I get a bigger...
It's just so weird, because it's not like that enables him to do anything else. He gets nothing more. He's not going to kick your butt over X amount of time period because the rest of the world is not operating on his perception of days. So his business, he can't change his business strategy based on what he believes is a different day. I'm gonna... 21 days from now, we need to hop on a call. But to him, that's only a week. For everyone else, that's almost a month. Like, it doesn't change anything. It's useless. He's actually saying useless gobbledygook. How often you got to the end of the day? Well, which day? One of your days or like a human day?
I would show you tonight. Sometimes when I don't this game years and decades of hard times. Setbacks.
Yeah, but a decade is only like a year to you. God, that was inspiring. Holy fuck. I'm gonna go take a nap and start my next day and then like 30 minutes from now. That's big. That is big. I've heard these words 1,000 times. Yeah, because right now, like, the big thing on YouTube specifically is just like repeating the same cliches, like the self-motivating cliches, just the platitudes. I see that shit everywhere now. People just need to keep hearing these like words of affirmation endlessly and then proceed to do nothing except take a nap at noon, maybe. He made a video called How to Manipulate Time to Get More Done. What's the strategy?
And in there, I try to get as much fun, my faith, family stuff, work, etc. as I can in a window like that. And then day 2 goes off, and this little clock goes off in my head about noon every day. It's crazy, but it'll happen for everybody. Like, okay, let me recalibrate. Let me take accountability. Let me assess. And then day 2 starts till 6 p.m. 6 p.m. to midnight's the third day. The more you measure time, right? Most people, once a year, take inventory of their life. High performers...
But, like, what? Nothing changes. So you send your kids to school for 8 hours a day, meaning you send your kids to school for 2 days in your time frame. Nothing changes. Literally nothing at all changes. All it is your perception of what your days are. But nothing, literally nothing changes. And he's openly just saying that. He's just like, okay, at noon, I recalibrate. Now I'm in day 2 mode. Great. Very good. Excellent. This, yeah, basically he thinks he basically invented a schedule. And he thinks he has, like, manipulated time, like an X-Men or something. So does he shower every day? No, he only showers on the 3rd day, I think, because the 3rd day falls, like, 6 to midnight. So I'm guessing he showers every 3 days.
Maybe it's once a month. Really great entrepreneurs once a week. What if it was 3 times in a given 24-hour day, where you're making assessments, adjustments? And by the way, this includes fun, relaxation, and everything. But now I'm getting 21 days a week when the average person I was competing against as an entrepreneur is getting 7. Stack that up over a month, a year, 5 years.
He's an android. He's literally just an android. He just says the same script over and over and over and over and over and over again. He loves it. He loves that line. I'm still learning nothing about this. It's just, it's actual mumbo jumbo. It's so good. Do people believe this shit? They must. He's very popular. Though I guess, admittedly, in every comment section I've checked so far, everyone's clowning on him. So maybe not. Maybe he's too much for even those people that buy into like every single thing that has a cover that looks like this.
In my case, 30 years, you have a completely different existence in the world, and you are happier and more successful. So that's what I mean by bending and manipulating time. You are archaic if you measure a day in 24 hours anymore.
Wow. Yeah, that principle alone, you gotta let that sit. You go, okay, hold on, Ed. You're telling me that instead of 7 days,
Why do
I
you
can
suck
do
his wiener?
21 days in a week. That
What's
kind
the
of hurts
point?
your brain to think about. But what you're saying is, we're gonna break this out into chunks of productivity, and it's not all work. You're not working for 18 hours. You're saying you're building in all of those things, but you're super intentional about those hours.
Yeah, and
No shit, it's called a schedule. Every human being on the planet does the same thing, even for trivial tasks. Like, the new Andor episode drops tonight at 7. I'll make sure to set aside a little chunk of time so I can watch that. For him, what he's doing is, I'm setting aside an entire day to watch that. It's the same fucking concept. He doesn't get any more productivity or anything else done. What a fascinating, weird scam to be peddling. But perhaps I'm just too locked into my archaic 24-hour days. Maybe I can't see the genius. Maybe that's the problem. Don't know if I'd call it a scam. He wrote a book about it. I consider it a scam. The second you write and sell a book about this kind of garbage, I consider you a scammer. 100%. Wait, is that a real price right there? If you want to hire him to talk, it costs $200,000. Here's his biography. Here we go. Ed Milet. Entrepreneur, best-selling author, podcast host. He travels from California, and his speaking fee for live events is $100,000 to $200,000, or for a virtual event, $50,000 to $100K. Wow, that'll get your mindset right. The #1 mindset coach right there, baby. For the low, low price of $100,000 to $200,000. Nice. No wonder his mindset's so good. People willingly pay that. The Chronomancer. Yeah. That website is crazy. You can see a bunch of celebrity speaking prices. Let's see. Speakers. Celebrity. You can hire actors to come speak. Sean Austin? Sean Austin's speaking fee is $30,000 to $50K? I saw Danny Trejo right under that. Danny Trejo's everywhere. Or at least he used to be. This one's a live event, please contact, so no listed rate. He's always struck me as like a good guy. I imagine you reach out to me like, hey Danny, I'd really like you to come speak at my child's 14th birthday party if you wouldn't mind. He'd probably be like, I'll be there. No, you don't need to pay me, I'll just be there. I'll talk about Spy Kids. Let's do, who do we have for basketball? Is LeBron on here? Muggsy Bogues! 10 to 20K. Man, does everybody in the world do, like, seminars now? Magic John... Mark Cuban... for 200K and above. Why, man? Dude's already a billionaire. What the fuck is even the point? Check esports. I don't think esports... Esports is here! Why is Magic Johnson in esports? And Mark Cuban again. Magic Johnson is also 200K and above. Ashton Kutcher in esports. So far not a single esports person. I feel like they don't quite know what that term means. Where's Faker? Where's Simple? Oh, Ninja! Ninja's here. There's a please contact. Jeremy Lin! Holy shit, for Lin's sanity, 100 to 200K there as well? Who are the technology speakers? Blockchain, holy fuck. Sam Bankman-Fried listed. He'll call you from prison. Ty Lopez is arguably the most iconic scammer in YouTube history. He's the mastermind behind the classic "here in my garage, just bought this Lamborghini" clip. Throughout the years, no name has commanded less respect than Ty Lopez. He is just a clown people shoot spitballs at. He is just like the communal piñata that people used to love to hit, take shots at, like a little punching bag. And it was always good fun because he's a piece of shit. He is literally a scammer. And not many people know this, but he's actually still around. This cockroach has persisted, and he still posts videos and still tries to sell courses and seminars. So I wanted to take a look at one of his more recent ones. Except it's not his mansion, he's leasing it. And he's not trying to hide that fact either. He wears it proudly on his sleeve and spends 17 minutes coping, trying to convince his audience that leasing a $100 million property is actually a galaxy brain, Giga Chad financial decision, and tries to convince them that leasing is better than buying in a lot of cases. It is unbelievable delusion.
So, let me give you the reasons why I just leased this $100 million house in Beverly Hills. Why would I lease this for a year? Is that crazy?
It's beyond crazy. It's plain brain dead. This is plus ultra moron shit here. Leasing a $100 million property, and trying to posture it as a good thing and a smart financial decision, that is baffling. Now I know Tai Lopez is just a complete fake person. Like, he even moves around like an NPC out of GTA, like some kind of character you'd find on the street that's like falling over or getting bullied by someone. But like this, it's become his whole persona. You know, I'm oiled up in my garage, rubbing my wiener on my Lamborghini, you know, that kind of thing, like flexing these wealthy things. But this is so unbelievable to me, where he's trying to position a lease on a $100 million property as a good thing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what Felix Dennis, he had the 3 F's rule. If it flies, floats, or lease it, don't buy it.
A mansion does none of those things, except fuck you in the face. Like, I understand that this is all for show. I think there's a very real chance he's not even leasing this property, and I'll get into that in a moment. As he's doing the walkthrough, this place is more barren and empty than my fucking 16th birthday party. Like, I don't think he even leased it. I think he asked a realtor if he can just film a video in there so he could promote his seminars. The only reason he's at this property and making this video is to try and push gullible fools into purchasing his courses and attending his seminars and that kind of fucking nonsense, just to keep exploiting people.
But that's not the real reason. I'm gonna give you the reasons why I would do something crazy, because we live in a world, it's like if you lease a Lamborghini, people think, this person's dumb, or they're trying to pretend, or if they lease a house, you know, this isn't an Airbnb, this is a long-term lease. People are like, and I'm going, no, use your brain. They don't teach us in school financial literacy.
It's not financial literacy, it's substantial idiocy. If you used your brain for even a second, just had one neuron activation moment, you would recognize how stupid this whole thing is.
I buy farmland. I own farms. This is number one. There are things you should buy and things you should lease.
Tai loves to go on and on about the farms that he owns, and I'm confident he's never stepped foot on them for even a second, past the initial handshake of purchasing it. If that's even a true story, it's impossible to know with Tai Lopez, but if he did own farms, you bet your sweet bippy he'd say, ew, yucky, smelly animals, and run away. To tie it all back to Tai's 10 commandments here of leasing, I'm gonna go ahead and poke some holes into that theory here. There are things you should buy, and there are things you should lease in some cases. You know what one thing you should never lease is? A $100 million mansion, no matter how well off you are. I don't even understand this from a conceptual standpoint, because this just looks pathetic. It looks weak. And I feel even the most brainwashed of suckers would see that too. Like, let's say I'm someone susceptible to Tai Lopez's manipulation. And I'm like, Tai Lopez, he's got all the secrets to wealth. If I follow him, I'll be a multimillionaire too. And then I watch this video, I would look at Tai Lopez like a little fucking vermin for it. Because this is him paying a richer man to film content in that house. This isn't his house. He's very open about leasing this. He is paying someone more wealthy and more successful than him to ask him if he can kind of stay there while filming YouTube videos. Like, that's not a financial guru, that's a bitch.
What I also like about this house, and reason number 2, is a lease for tax purposes and deductions. If you've got a big wing of business like I do, you get better tax deductions on a lease versus a purchase. I use this little thing to separate. Actually, let's go this way first.
I love that he has the business wing sectioned off here. Why? What's happening over there? Is that where the owner is and he's fucking your girlfriend, Ty? Like, I don't understand. Who in their own home would be, like, quarantining the business wing? That'd be like me setting up an obstacle course to get into my office here. That's where I do the high-level stuff, so naturally I've got it blockaded.
Yeah, it's a sitting room, but I'm gonna put in grand piano. I like to play the piano.
You runny-nosed little worm, why you lying to me? I know you're not putting a grand piano in there.
Number 3 is flexibility. Next reason is charity.
Yes, charity. Nothing says helping the community quite like living in a $100 million mansion that you're leasing. He's doing it for secret. He's not selling. He's leasing the property because he's helping everyone. And he stays flexible. Of course he's not. All if he wants to, he can go get a $200 million lease on my company. He's got so many options.
Never just live for yourself. I call it the 50-50 rule. You should spend 50% of your life living for yourself and your family and people who depend on you, but 50% live for the good of others. So this house is amazing. I already did a big event, a charity pool party. You know, this backyard will hold 800 people, and I sold tables, and all the profit from the little tables in the back went to charity. So you can do good with a big house.
Might actually be one of the weakest arguments I've ever heard for why some narcissistic loser would lease a $100 million property. Well, actually, there's so much good you can do with a big house like this. I threw a pool party and I sold tables. I don't know what that means, full disclosure. I don't know what that... You sold tables? Is that like code for baby oil? Is this like a freak off or something? Like, I don't know what he's saying with that. But whatever. I sold tables and I gave money to charity. Okay, you could also just give the money to charity without leasing a $100 million home. Like, that home didn't help you do any of that. It doesn't make any sense what you're trying to say here. I also love how he tries to get really philosophical. Like, he's a man's man. You know, you gotta live for yourself sometimes, but then live for others, like your family. Speaking of family, Ty, where's your wife and kids? You're pushing 50 and you still don't have a family, man. You're still on this stupid fucking grind set mentality, trying to scam people through dog shit YouTube videos and seminars like this.
Next reason to lease versus buy is maintenance responsibility. You know how expensive this house is to maintain? So I love the fact that it's like you're not responsible really for the maintenance if you negotiate your lease right.
Another great reason to lease versus buy is I'm too fucking lazy to do any of it myself, so I'll put that responsibility on the person that I'm leasing from. Yeah. Cool flex, Ty. I can't be bothered to do anything except sit here and make YouTube shorts promoting nonsense to fools. So I'll let someone else take care of, like, the actual stuff.
Cool, I like to... swimming is underrated, man. Jogging's hard on the joints. Swimming, there's a certain magic. You look at those people, like the Maoris, like The Rock, you know, people from the South Pacific are in some of the best shape historically, the people who swam a lot. So I love swimming. It's gotta... I don't know why we still have all the ropes up, but I like to do my workouts outside when I can.
What the fuck are you yapping about, man? What? Just say you like to swim. I don't know why he's going into this whole spiel about it. I don't think he swims, for what it's worth. I just don't believe anything that ever comes out of Ty Lopez's mouth, to be honest with you. I bet he hasn't even dipped his toes into that pool, because it might be a little too chilly or something. But, like, I don't even understand why he's even going on about this. And then he says, I like to do my workouts outside, and there's like 5 dumbbells there that go up to like maybe 20 pounds. Getting a real big pump out there, huh, Ty? He is making this shit up on the spot. Like I said, I don't think he actually even leases this place. I think a realtor just granted him permission to come through while it was being cleaned for a serious buyer. Because he's just walking through, like, pointing at shit and going on these completely nonsensical tangents. Yeah, I like to do my workouts outside, which is why all those heavy dumbbells are over there. A lot of ropes around here from last night's hootenanny. Yeah, we had a big shindig last night. I don't know why the ropes are still up.
Another reason, it's a great opportunity to test a place. So if you negotiate a lease correctly, you can a lot of times put that you have first option to buy. So it's a great way. This is a guest house here in the pool. I got friends that stay here. My mom, when she comes to visit, she likes to stay close but be a little bit separate, so she stays here in the pool house.
Yeah, you get to guinea pig the house for a little bit, do a bit of beta testing. Yeah, there's a pool house. I kind of confine my mom to these quarters when she's around here. She loves to come over, and I have so many friends. You guys know how many friends I have. Lots and lots of friends, and sometimes they'll stay here too, and my mom's not, taking up the joint, you know what I mean? So, yeah, also, like, he's just going around making up stories for shit. He is just spitballing lore for things that he sees, like a game of I Spy.
This is where we have the tables for the charity thing. It's pretty cool. We have the DJ over there. So this room, I'm turning, Anton's here, CEO here. He's getting some work done, but this is becoming the game room.
Is Anton even alive over there? It looks like he's out cold. You should be going over there to check for a pulse, brother. Man looks like he overdosed on chill pills. I also just don't even think Ty Lopez knows who that is. His name's probably not even Anton. He probably just pulled that out of his ass. Maybe he is the CEO of something. I don't have a clue, but to me it just really feels like there's some random people in this house and Ty Lopez is scrambling to try and explain why they're there. Like, oh hey, it's a Jericho, hey, up top. Yeah. Good game last night. Yeah. Jericho was at the charity function last night. He donated $5 million to the charity we were partying for, and I think recent or something. But anyway, it's great to see you. Great to see you. Yeah. Oh, yep. Nope. Another charity event next week. That's right. Can't wait. Anyway, this is the game room. There'll be a lot of games in this room.
Super Bowl can open this to outside. You got your own bar here, which is kind of cool. But now, I want to go back to one of the points of leasing versus buying.
I wish Anton had just shut up after hearing that, like, what the fuck? Then if it's leasing versus buying, are you out of your mind? Are you off your gourd? I also can't help but just appreciate that Ty Lopez talks about, like, the bar over there, and then, like, slowly walks over there, fee-fi-fo-fums, just to spank it for no reason, just to slap it.
A reason that I like to do a $100 million huge house is it's easier to clearly delineate what's personal and what's business. I section it off.
What the hell is even that? One of the biggest benefits to a big house in Ty Lopez's eyes is his ability to effectively section off what's business and what's personal. Do you not have object permanence? Are you 5 years old? Man thinks if he's not in his office, it just disappears. So he has to set up these blockers to remind him, like, office on that side, that's where business is. You can't just be an adult and know that your office is where your business shit is. Everything else is your personal shit. Like, what? How dumb are you?
Change your life right here. I'm loading all my books in. I have other homes, so I'm trying to decide, do I want to buy all new books because this place got such a good library, or do I want to ship books? I have more books in boxes on one of my farms. Okay, here, as I said, one of the advantages of leasing versus buying is the business element of it. Here, this house has a ballroom. I have a lot of my C-suite, not all my employees, but I have like the leaders come.
I fail to see how that's an advantage of leasing versus buying, because you could still get that same effect through buying. If you own the house, you could still have them in that same ballroom, like your little fucking personal sweatshop here. Like, it's not like leasing helped you do that better, or gave you the ability to do that, whereas buying wouldn't.
Rick Field here, one of the chief branding officers, the world's largest monitor. But yeah, this is a cool place. It's got very finely crafted kind of all of this work that they did is pretty incredible.
One thing I find very interesting is Ty Lopez walks around this house like a fucking ghost. Everyone around him treats him as if he's invisible. So he's like directly talking about Rick Field, who's in earshot. Like, he is right next to him. Ty's breathing down his shoulder. Rick doesn't even give him the time of day, doesn't look at him. Anton, another example, never even acknowledges Ty Lopez's presence. Doesn't even look up at him. Neither does anyone in that room. I don't think they know Ty. I really don't.
Very important. Heidi keeps a lot of my books. Here, tú puedes poner esto on mí. The books I read, I stick in my office, so I put them all here. Esto no. I read this one. I like to go to sleep by reading 3 or 4 books. If you ain't sleeping well, don't be scrolling on your phone. Read.
Turns out Ty actually had some surprise books upstairs that he hadn't fully loaded into his shelves down there. So the books on the shelves, those are the ones that he reads. The ones upstairs, that's a totally different set of books. He starts fishing through there. This book, and this book, and this book, and then just hands it to Heidi. And then he says he reads 3 to 4 books before going to bed. Impossible? You don't do that? I know you don't. What do you mean you read 3 to 4 books? Like maybe picture books or something where you flip through Green Eggs and Ham, perhaps? But you're not reading full books every night before bed. No shot. That's not happening.
I have in Philly even. I don't spend all my time here. California is not my main home. It's somewhere else, and I also live in Europe part-time. So another reason to lease, why leased versus purchase, is I like to have multiple homes. And I feel like when you own something, you see it as your nest egg and you literally don't travel as much. I know that's psychological, but it's true.
I just cannot believe that he's saying these things on camera to his audience, because it is so clear to anybody watching this how full of shit this man is. So you're telling me you lease tons of homes apparently and live a lot of different places. You're leasing a $100 million home despite not really spending that much time here. Why? Why lease a $100 million home then? You are actually just flushing money down the shitter. The reason you'd buy multiple homes if you've reached like an absurd level of wealth is you're building equity. Like you're building things. Like you are able to make money off those investments long term. Here, you are actually just burning money. So you're bad with money is what you're admitting to here, Ty. I cannot believe that he's not able to process that.
I've got a big party coming up. By the way, I'm doing these mansion seminars in the ballroom, and I do these charity parties. So I'll put a link in the description if you want to see the calendar of the upcoming stuff.
Gorsh! Absolutely, Ty. Sign me up. Parties, mansion seminars, and a leased $100 million property. I can't wait to be taught by the master.
This place, they used to use it for like big charity events. Brad Pitt had an event here. It's pretty cool. But, you know, a lot of times if you do it right, another thing I like is you can lease homes that will never come up for sale. It's kind of cool because sometimes people don't want to sell the whole home. So for me, life is about adventure. I'm not number one, my core drive is not material things. So like I said, I like to buy farmland. Farmland's been the best risk-adjusted return. You know, I'd rather own farms that have a productive use than just homes or mansions.
Ty's serving up a full course of the Yappy meal here on the world's slowest elevator. Why does it take so long to go 2 floors? This elevator sucks. Is there just like a couple people with like a rope slowly letting it down as Ty gets in it? How is it that slow? Jesus. And anyway, whatever he's talking about in there is fucking stupid in the first place, saying how his number one motivator is not material things. Meanwhile, his whole persona is material things and presenting material things, flexing material things, and convincing his audience that they should and can get those material things through following him. You're just so full of barnacles, Ty, it's crazy.
I don't know where we are. Back up. And this is, you can fit up to 20 cars in the garage. But my friend's staying here, and this one little Lambo. I'm trying to decide if I want to get a Phantom Rolls Royce with a driver.
That's so badass, Ty. He can't decide if he wants the Phantom or the Rolls Royce with the driver. He just has so many complex decisions. I say, why not both? You got plenty of dough lying around, right? Look at you, Ty. Just get both. You've earned it, man. You've earned it. I also love it. He's like, yeah, I don't really know where we are. Of course you don't. Of course you don't know where you are, Ty. Because I don't think you actually lease this place. You just come in here because you know the realtor and they let you come in here and just take a fucking tour through it while presenting as if it's yours so you can sell some fools on your fucking courses to make money off of them.
But I use this a lot. It's got a really good sound system. Chairs. I had first night I moved in, there were like 5 friends and we all, what do we want? The Born experiment. And I was like, everybody fell asleep in the chairs. Everybody's snoring. Guys' night. Everybody's sitting there snoring.
No, they didn't. You made that up. Of all the things that have never happened, that's definitely one of them. Well, like, you couldn't even think of an accurate Bourne title. There is no Bourne experiment, Uber. Like, he's just making shit up. And the amount of times he references his friends truly convinces me that he has no one in his life that's close to him. Nobody at all. Yeah, so I had, like, my friends, you know, they were here. We watched a movie. And then everyone fell asleep. They were, like, snoring and shit. And then, you know, my friends, they came up to me and said, "Thank you so much, Ty, for letting us stay here. You're such a good guy. And thank you, Ty, for making us millions of dollars." And then everyone clapped.
The next reason to buy is adventure. I'm an adventure guy. People always ask me, "Ty, why are you still doing business?" You know, I could have retired and had enough recurring revenue probably in like 2007 or 8. You know, why didn't I? I like adventure.
Of course. No, absolutely, Ty. He's just a real adventurous soul. And he doesn't like to be tied down by like a family or anything. He likes to do it alone. He prefers to be alone. It's his choice.
Don't be afraid to lease. As I told you at the beginning, what Felix Dennis said about the 3 F's. So don't listen. People are financially illiterate. They're like, "Oh, if you didn't buy it, there's something wrong." Do the cost-benefit analysis. Sometimes it makes sense to buy. Sometimes it makes sense to lease. If you know you want to be there for a long time, like farms for me.
Not a single convincing argument in favor of leasing over buying presented throughout this entire video. Because bare necessities. The core is that it's stupid to lease a $100 million mansion under any circumstances. It's a terrible idea. And he's trying so hard to spin it as like an alpha, giga-brained financial guru maneuver. It's not, Ty. It's not. He then goes on to promote his seminars once more to try and get people through the door with their wallets out and piggy banks emptied. So just classic Ty Lopez shit, really. I wanted to make fun of it. That's about it. See ya. A couple days ago, I made a video goofing around while covering the body cam footage that showed an officer being arrested after walking around flashing his badge at strangers in public. And by badge, I mean penis. Since then, I have been inundated with YouTube recommended body cam videos. And one of these puppies really caught my eye just a little bit ago.
911, where's your emergency?
I'm at Kent State University. I need to get into my building, please.
Okay, is this an emergency? Can you look up the non-emergency?
I need to get into my building, please.
Okay, I need you to look up the non-emergency number and contact the Kent State University Police
I need to get into my building, please.
What doesn't this dispatcher understand? Ellen needs to get into that building. She's got papers to grade and students to flunk. Like, what the fuck? Someone send over the National Guard ASAP to let Ellen into this building. Why is she locked out in the first place? What kind of nefarious plot is this from Dr. Evil trying to keep Ellen out of her office? This is unacceptable, and he's trying to direct her to the non-emergency line? Has there ever been a more pressing emergency quite like this? This is just disgusting. This dispatcher needs to have a stern talking to. Lord help us if Ellen ever got a hold of him on the horn.
You need to contact the Kent State University Police Department. This is not an emergency.
What is it? I need to get into my...
Look it up, ma'am. I'm going to let you go.
I don't know what it...
After the college professor repeatedly abuses 911, demanding an officer, she eventually gets her way.
Abusing 911? Why, yada? Are we in an alternate dimension here? What kind of circus is this? Am I taking crazy pills? This is an emergency! This is Ellen! She's worked at Kent State for over 2 decades. Hello? She's not able to access this building. Get the police over there lickety-split to let her the fuck in. Do you not know what position she holds at Kent State?
I'm the school director of the School of Health Sciences.
Gotcha.
I'll show you my driver's license, which is in the car. Can you get me into the building, please, so I can go pee?
Sure. Do you have anything to drink today?
I had a drink.
You had a drink?
A drink.
Okay. Because I can smell a little bit of alcohol on you.
I can smell a little bit of alcohol. That's fine. You can.
Okay.
Is that a problem, officer? What's the crime? What's the charge? Enjoying a drink? A succulent after-hours beverage? For the Kent State Health School Director, Prime Minister, Turbo Ruler Empress?
I had a drink in my colleague's office. That's fine.
In your colleague's office? Where was that at?
In the annex.
Okay. How'd you get over here?
I walked.
You walked over here? Okay. I'd like to give you a couple tests just to make sure you're good to go because I don't want you driving if you've been drinking.
Sir, I'm fine.
Okay. Well, I can smell it on you and you're not able to use a card to swipe into the door. So it's
Sir,
a little...
this is not working. This is not working. Can I go pee, please?
Well, here's what I'm saying. You're trying to swipe 2 cards at the same time, which kind of shows me that you're lacking some motor functions.
Yeah, well, you're lacking manners. How about that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. This is Ellen. She has worked at Kent State for over 2 decades. She is the Kent State health director, health rock and roll specialist or something. Yeah, maybe she was relentlessly calling 911 all because she couldn't quite figure out how to scan her card because she was a little too hammered. Who hasn't been there, huh? We've all been there. That door's tricky. That could fool even the most sober of us. All of us would be scanning 2 cards, even without alcohol. I'm sure it's a mistake that happens often. And she just, given her position of power, perhaps a bit of entitlement. Like, hey, I'm gonna need to start using police resources here to get this door open for me. It's fucking absurd, man. I gotta drop the sarcasm. So she's had a little bit to drink, apparently, and she's trying to scan 2 cards at the same time, which is obviously not working. The door's not opening. So then she immediately resorts to calling 911 numerous times here as if it's an actual emergency, diverting resources away from what could legitimately be real possible emergencies out there that now have to deal with this shit. It is a little wacky. I'll tell you what, Ellen, not great.
I wouldn't want you to...
Can I go pee? Can I pee, please?
Yeah, here, I'll let you in to pee real quick and then we'll talk, okay? Do you have someone you could call?
My husband.
Okay. Do you want to go pee first and start working on calling him?
No, I don't. This is not okay.
What's not okay?
That you're gonna call my husband.
No, you're going to call him.
I'm fine.
I don't think you're okay to drive.
I think I'm okay to drive. I have a Tesla.
Checkmate, she has a Tesla. She can be extremely drunk and the car will get her home, no worries. What's the big deal? She has to pee. This officer just must not know who she is. This is Ellen. She's the health director. If she says she's okay to drive, she's okay to drive. She's the health director. She directs health, for crying out loud. Come on, she knows health better than all of us here. And if she just needs to tinkle a little bit, then hop in the old Tesla and get herself home while being, I guess, a little too inebriated to figure out how to open a door that I imagine she's opened thousands of times in the past, then we just need to forget about it and trust her better judgment.
Sir, I'm gonna call your captain in a minute.
That's fine. You're not going to drive out of here.
You're not gonna be okay.
Is there a bathroom back here you're using?
I'm sorry?
Is there a bathroom in this office you're using?
I'm gonna go over there. I'm the school director of the School of Health Sciences, and I'm gonna be okay.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay. I just need you to call somebody for me before I go.
I'll be fine.
She's 2-4. Okay. So she said she walked here, though?
So it doesn't seem like it's an emergency here. She doesn't need to hit the urination station urgently. She takes a small detour here to complete a side quest where she takes off the cap and gown in her office, and then also just stays in the office for quite a while, to the point where the officers were concerned she crawled out the window to get to her vehicle and drive home. So then they go around the outside to check if she's still there, and they're about to get a big surprise.
Out to the parking lot that way. Yeah, she's trying to swipe like 2 cards at the same time to get in. No, you're not driving home.
Okay. Unless she's calling up a window. I mean, the window, there's definitely windows right there.
Turns out she's just sitting in the office now. Just blankly sitting there. Kind of looked like a horror movie scene, like right before a jump scare. I don't know what she's doing. I guess maybe she went over there to start giving some students failing grades for fun. Like maybe that's what she does when she's drunk, just flunk out some students just for the hell of it. I have no idea. But the whole thing was about her not being able to get into the building and how badly she needs to pee. So she calls the police multiple times. Eventually the police show up, smell alcohol on her, realize she might be drunk because she is not able to just swipe a card to get into a building because she keeps trying to swipe 2 cards, which is preventing her from accessing it. I'm also really surprised she even called the police in the first place for that. I don't know why she wouldn't just ask any of the people around her. There's other people on this campus. I'm surprised she didn't just go to anyone else and immediately resorted to going to police. Her sense of entitlement is just that large, I suppose. So anyway, now she's in there, just sitting there. Maybe she's peeing in the seat. I doubt it. But she's just sitting there and still refusing to call someone to drive her home or get an Uber or anything, and still insists she's going to drive.
You're harassing me right now. I don't appreciate it.
No, I'm just making sure you get home okay.
I'm going to be okay.
Okay. Well, I just need to make sure you call somebody here because I don't want you driving home.
I'm going to call Captain Getman from Kent.
Who's that?
The captain of Kent, if you don't leave me alone.
What's his name?
Captain Getman of Kent. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and you're going to leave me alone.
Captain Gitman of Kent. Sounds like the name of a character from Game of Thrones. Seems like the officers don't know who that is. I don't know if that's actually their captain or not. But apparently she's got a direct line to him. So, I guess, be ready.
I'm missing a best card that's out there.
It fell down out there?
Yeah. He's going to leave me alone, and I'm going to go home and go pee, and you're going to leave me alone.
Okay, but you're not going to drive.
I'm going to drive home.
Okay, ma'am, you're not going to drive.
I'm driving home, and you're going to leave me alone. I'm fine, and you're going to leave. I have water in my car. I'm fine.
I don't care if you have water in your car.
If she's not actually drunk, then it's just a pretty impressive aggression and sense of entitlement. Like, even the officers kind of chalk it up to her, you know, under the influence. But if she actually is just sober, man, what a bad attitude. Like, she seems very miserable to be around. And also, this is entirely of her own doing. She called the cops multiple times to try and get them out there. They showed up exactly like she was asking for. So, like, she brought all of it on herself.
No, you're going to leave me alone. My husband just had surgery, and I'm driving
Okay.
home. Sir, you're going to leave me alone? Do you want me to take a breathalyzer? I'll do that for you.
Nope, don't have one.
What?
I don't have one.
Sir, you're going to leave me alone? I'm fine.
I would have been super curious to see the breathalyzer here, because she's saying she'd take one, but the officer, I guess, doesn't have one, which was pretty surprising.
I will. I have worked. You can leave me alone. Look, I could not get in the building because you locked my building.
We didn't lock your building. It locks automatically.
Okay.
So we did you a service by letting you in here.
Okay, I could have driven home with my cap and gown. So can I go pee, please? Because
I never told you you couldn't. Go ahead.
Not quite the checkmate maneuver she thought that was going to be. I couldn't get into the building because you guys locked it. Which obviously didn't happen. I don't think the officers pulled one over on her here with the, you know, the fast one. She was swiping 2 cards and couldn't open her own building. And was calling the authorities to come do it for her. Again, she demanded they show up. Like, it's unbelievable. And now she's like, okay, can I go pee? Come on, grow up. I want to go pee now. Is that okay? Do I have your permission to pee? And the officer's like, yeah, just go pee. Like, no one told you not to. Like, she's been in here for a while now and has still not peed like she said she really needed to do at the very beginning. Like, it's... I don't know, it does feel like maybe she drank a little too much, even though she likes to claim she's not drunk.
Jesus Christ. I've worked here for 28 years.
I understand.
So can you give me my other card back?
I don't have your other card.
I'm not intoxicated.
Well, I think you are.
I'm glad you think I am, but I'm not. You can have a good day. Thank you very much.
Okay. Can you call somebody for me?
Sure, I will.
Can you do that right now?
I will. In my car.
Now we're starting to get into the big stalemate territory. The officers are getting, like, really annoyed here, just saying, please call someone. We cannot let you drive that vehicle while we believe you're intoxicated. And based on all the evidence here, like this interaction, she does appear to be intoxicated. She did mention drinking earlier. She claims it was just a drink. It does seem a little different. So, like, I think it's a pretty reasonable request to just say, like, can you just call someone, get an Uber, just fucking something, because drunk driving is bad. It's a terrible thing. But she continues to refuse it, and she gets more and more heated about all of it, and as you can probably imagine, it doesn't exactly go swimmingly.
Ma'am, listen, you've been here a long time. Please don't tarnish your own reputation by doing this, because we are going to arrest you if you try to leave here and drive your car. I promise. Like, you're going to be arrested. And that is not what we want to do.
So my husband is home.
Okay, you said he just had surgery and he can't drive, right?
I'll call Captain Gitman right now.
There's no Captain Gitman.
He's here at my phone.
Okay, well, call. Go ahead.
There's no Captain Gitman that works for Kent.
He works for Kent City.
No, he doesn't.
Bye. Have a good day.
Well, explained it all you could.
Yeah.
Now it just sounds like they're sad, like, oh fuck, we're gonna have to arrest Ellen. Ellen, she's been at the university for over 2 decades as the school director of health. Oh man, shocks. Jeepers. And she just keeps going on about this Captain Gitman, who they don't know who that is, so I'm assuming she's barking up the wrong tree there. Maybe there is a Captain Gitman that exists there in her phone, but like, what is he gonna do? Like, no, you boys, listen. She's got my permission to drunk drive home. Stand down. Like, if they don't know who Captain Gitman is, I don't think they would respect the authority of whoever answers that phone.
It is what it is at this point.
City Police Officer. He reports to you.
That's not accurate.
It's totally accurate.
Okay.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic.
All right. Do you have all the stuff you need?
Captain Getman, call me back. It's Ellen Glickman.
You have a lanyard on your right side under your jacket, if that's what you're looking for.
Nope. I'm looking for my office keys. You guys f***ed me up. Thank you.
Are you going to be able to call anyone for me?
No, are you?
Okay. I'll take this one.
No, you would not take my.
All right. Well, right now you're under arrest.
I'm calling my husband. Stop.
Okay. Just relax. You're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
I've made my decision. You are under arrest.
I'm calling my husband.
Put your hands behind your back.
No, I'm calling my.
This feels like someone who's probably used to bullying people to get anything she wants and just kind of steamrolling around conversations in order to come out on top. And her hardball didn't quite work here. So after quite a lengthy period of time here, she finally, at the very end, concedes, saying, "Okay, I'll call my husband. Stop." But the officers have already had enough of it at this point, because she already said she'd do that a few times and then didn't, and then tried to call the imaginary captain, fucking super sailor, whoever she was calling. So they make the decision to arrest her, because it seems like she is still going to be driving herself home, because she keeps saying she's going to.
I'm really sorry.
It's okay. You're walking to this car right here.
No, I'm walking to my.
You're not walking to your car. You're not driving home.
Can you please call my husband?
No.
No, I'm really. Stop this. Call my husband. Please call my husband.
Stop.
Can you call my husband right now? Right now.
You can call him when you're being booked.
I'm not being booked.
You are.
I'm really sorry for being an asshole.
So it's not because you're being difficult. It's because you're drunk.
I'm not drunk.
You are.
No, I'm not. Please take my phone. Please take my phone.
I already have your phone.
I'm sorry for being an asshole.
It has nothing to do with that.
I'm being an asshole. Thank you so much. Sir, I've worked here 28 years. Can I speak to somebody who's worked here a long time? Because
hold on.
I've been here 28 years. Please.
Have a seat.
So they take her to the facility. She reiterates numerous times that she's worked there for 28 years, this and that, flexing her position and standing in the community for so long. Eventually, her son shows up to take her home and ensure she doesn't try and drive. She was charged with disorderly conduct, intoxication. After a plea deal in community and service, it was dropped. And you'd think that's where the story ends, but it doesn't. Because after all was said and done, and this was water under the bridge, she and her husband came back to try and argue.
I'm Lieutenant Campbell. How can I help you?
I'm Ellen Glickman. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
I wanted to chat with. Do you know who the officers were that night?
Yes, Officer White and Officer Womack.
So what would be the best way of chatting with them?
What kind of conversation are you wanting to have with them?
Peaceful. Yeah. I think there was errors on both sides.
Well, I'd have to disagree on that.
You do?
So, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
They were doing their jobs. Okay. And potentially could have saved your life by not letting you drive.
Well,
if you disagree with that, that's fine.
Shut that shit down pretty quickly. Why is she coming back here to try and argue with the officers from that night? Everything had already been settled. It had actually just totally been dropped after her community and service and plea, yet she still wants to come over and make an issue. Like, I really think that shows her general attitude and the way that she carries herself. It is someone that is so used to, like, bullying her way through life, is the impression I get from all of this. This is just like an inexplicable decision to try and come over here and now try and have further conversations with the officers from that night, which no doubt were not going to be overly peaceful, because she's already pretty upset, it seems, and still a bit heated about it, saying, oh, there were errors on both sides.
So,
I wasn't drunk.
I was not inebriated.
Okay, if that's fine.
You weren't there?
No, I was not there.
Okay, so there was a lot of, he was home with cancer and was post-op for about 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I was not intoxicated. I was sleep deprived. I had a drink. I have PTSD from y'all. My ex-husband was a cop.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff you didn't know, and I was not given the opportunity to discuss. And
you were given many opportunities, and you did not take advantage of any of them.
Okay.
It is incomprehensible how she keeps doing this. So again, all of this started because she was calling 911, relentlessly about trying to get officers over there to open a fucking door for her. That's what started all this. And now, after the whole case has been done and dusted, all settled, she still goes out here and does this kind of shit again. It's so wacky. It's just so weird. And the officer did make a good point. They very realistically could have saved her life. Even if she wasn't drunk, she doesn't appear to have been in a good condition for being behind the wheel of a car in the first place. If it was sleep deprivation or whatever was causing that, it does not appear she was in a good state to be operating a vehicle. So, it is a very real chance that they saved her life there. Anyway, though, this professor was insufferably self-entitled, and I just had to yap about it after watching this Midwest safety video. That's really about it. So, yep. Dine and dash is the act of eating a meal at a restaurant and leaving without paying. When I hear dine and dash being mentioned, I immediately go to the great Charles Doza, where he was arrested and then gave us one of the finest monologues ever recorded. This is democracy manifest. What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Get your hands off my penis! When that video went viral so many years ago, there was a ton of different rumors and stories surrounding it. It had this air of mysticism almost. It ranged from hyping him up as some kind of Gotham supervillain to him being an infamous dine and dashing culprit that they were finally apprehending. And for some reason, that always stuck with me. So when I think of Dine and Dash, he is who I picture in my head now. Even though that wasn't the truth of that situation there, it's still, for some reason, what has been locked in my noodle. So today when I saw a body cam video of a douchebag being arrested for dine and dashing, I couldn't help but just think about Charles Doza and how much cooler he was than this loser we're about to watch.
On August 16, 2022, officers responded to a report of a man leaving a restaurant without paying his bill.
Why are you asking for my
Because you're being accused of a crime. I'm not saying that you're guilty, but I gotta get you identified.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
All right? Relax. Relax. Come over here.
So that's the gist of it. He's being accused of not paying his bill at a restaurant, so now he's got 1 star, and the cops are just casually coming up to him asking for his ID. This video is blown up over the last 12 hours, and every post about it says that this is a Wall Street Bets mod. I'm sure all of you have heard of that subreddit, Wall Street Bets. It's a very popular one, and I don't know if that's a true statement or not, but if this really is a mod on Wall Street Bets, that makes this situation even goofier, because this goober is the quintessential Reddit mod in real-life caricature, and good heavens, it couldn't be more fitting. It's exactly what you envision when you picture a mod interacting with other human beings in the real world.
I went over there to have happy hour. I had some food, and I day trade. I do option trading. I got a business major and I got an accounting, so I do day trading.
He randomly decides to mention that he's a day trader, does options like yeehaw, woo, that's fucking awesome, this guy's amazing. It has nothing to do with anything. That is totally irrelevant to everything. It wouldn't matter if you're Michael Jordan. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter. You didn't pay your bill. You can't do that.
Were you by yourself?
Yes, by myself.
All right. How much did you eat? What did you buy?
No, it was only $70, bro.
$70 worth?
Yeah.
All right.
So.
God, his attitude is so insufferable. So he's laughing at, it was only $70, bro. I make that in a millisecond with my day trading and options because I am a Hustlers University graduate and I learned all about this kind of stuff, brother. Like, I was on Reddit the other day getting my financial advice as I usually do, and I'm making a killing right now. $70, that's nothing. This is a non-issue. He just doesn't understand, like, liquidity versus supply and demand. He doesn't understand the bell curve, the angle of azimuth.
I tried to pay with Apple Pay.
Okay.
And he said, like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't take Apple Pay. I was like, cool, I gave him my credit card. My credit card didn't go through. And his face was really upset already. And I'm like, I tried to educate him. I'm like, listen, I don't have any liquidity with me because most of my capital is my investments. In banks, I don't have banks neither.
He sounds like me when I was back in high school thinking of excuses for why I didn't finish an assignment. Like just a bunch of nonsense mumbo jumbo. He goes through this long speech about why he can't pay for it because he doesn't believe in liquidity. You know, liquidity is a belief held by simpletons, and he doesn't have anything in the bank. He'd be a damn fool to have anything in the bank, obviously. So he just can't pay for the food at all. He talks about how all of his money's in investments, which is turbo dope. I have no doubt in my mind this guy is investing epic swag style into the coolest Web3 projects. He's got tons of awesome coins. Like, I know he's crushing it. Big thanks to World of Warships for sponsoring this video. I've been working with the World of Warships team for quite some time to design some custom in-game content, so I'm a commander in the game now. I go by Chuck Blast on the seas out there, and I'm an absolute menace. The name of our ship is the Blastmaster. We sail under Chuck's flag, so I help design the assets, the camo, just kind of top to bottom. It looks like me, it sounds like me, because I do the voice acting for it. Dead on target. I'm, for all intents and purposes, engaged in war out there, and it's extremely fun. World of Warships is an amazing game that my father and I played together. He's been hard addicted for years, so it's really fun to watch him play as Chuck Blast. So there's new content released every month. There's so many ships to choose from: destroyers, battleships, aircraft carriers, cruisers, and you can play alone or in a division with friends. So you can use code PenguinZ0 to get the mission to unlock me as your commander, Chuck Blast. You also get 7 days premium account time, 1.5 million credits, 500 doubloons, and the battleship Bayern. It's available for PC and consoles, and the code is for newly registered players, but existing players can acquire these items by purchasing my bundle or through the new internet's containers. So you can click the link in the description to get started. Thanks again, World of Warships.
All right, okay. Do you have any means to pay that 70?
No. I want to sue them. I'm sorry.
But do you...
No. I'm sorry. You're asking the wrong question, sir. I'm so sorry.
You consume food, right?
Huh?
You consume food?
Hell yeah.
It's just something was off with this guy. He pitched this crazy fit, went nuts in here, threatening people. I'm talking about, like, went nuts at the bar.
I love that he's playing the victim here like this. Oh, actually, I want to sue them for thinking I couldn't pay 70 measly dollars. 70 clams? Oh, that's nothing. Of course I can pay that. I have no ways of paying that because all